What's up, everybody? Diamond Quiet RC here. It's the end of the school year. Just got done with school. Dad made a promise, actually. We made a promise. If I had all A's by the end of the year, I'd be able to get the nitro truck. Well, it's the end of the year, had all A's, and we pulled out with the nitro truck. Here it is, NT48 2.0. We've been holding off forever because they're about to release their 2.2 in about August or whatever the Worlds is. Because we've been waiting because they're on the 2.0, but they keep saying that there's no release anytime soon for the 2.1 or 2.2, whatever they're gonna go to. But we've waited. He's been trying to get my dad. He's been trying to get the 2.1. He left. Whenever he left, he's been wanting a electric truck, but can only wait for so long. It's been a minute since he raced, but he might. I don't know if he's gonna do it, but this might be his. He might get a great car. This is a really good car. It's durable, it's fast, it's very smooth, but this might be his. Because 3 classes is, I don't know how the pros do it, but 3 classes, that's intense. But yeah, we got the nitro truck.
What's going on, everybody? Ken here with Down and Quiet RC. I had to keep my promise to my boy. My boy had all A's, and I owed him a nitro truggy. So I went and got him that nitro truggy. I got him that Techno NT48 2.0. I know they've been out for a while, but overall, from what I've seen over the years, it's a great truggy. And obviously we're sticking with Techno, so we got him that NT48 2.0. I think I gave it to him on, I think it was Thursday, and once he got that box, he just started wrenching. He stayed in that trailer and just started building, and me and his mom were just kind of like, where is he at? He's probably still wrenching. So, and that's what he did. But he finished it. He built the whole kit himself. Obviously, we're still waiting on the engine, and I still have to do his linkage. But other than that, this is all him. This is his 3rd kit. Obviously, he had the EB48 2.1, and then he had the MB48 2.1 that's hanging right there. He built those. The only thing I really built on this one was the linkage. And same with this one, just setting up the linkage for him. But other than that, this is all him right here. He just right now, obviously this is our first time, well, his first time with anything with truggy related. But he said it was a great build, easy. Those Techno manuals, they're pretty easy to follow and to build. But yeah. It just has a stock setup on it, like in the manual. I think the only thing we have different on this is instead of 700, 600 with the shock oil, I think he's starting with, I want to say 600, 550. We'll just start there. And if he needs heavier oil, we'll go up once he gets to run it a little bit. Like I said, we're still waiting on the engine. It might be a week or 2. We're getting it pre-broken in. It's going to be a lossy tuned. That's coming, and yeah, other than that, she'll be ready. Obviously I have to get some wheels and tires, but I'll get that from Chad Cup. The only upgrade we really put on this, and we kind of did that with the buggies as well, is the JT turnbuckles. Obviously we put those on there, and the stabilizers, the sway bar aluminum holders, He did put the plastic one on there for right now. You see the plastic ones right here, but they will come off, so we'll put those aluminum ones on there. But yeah, he's really doing a lot of the own maintenance and builds himself now, which is good. Especially now he's working on shocks a lot, you know, just doing it the right way, taking his time, bleeding them and all that. I mean, he did it all, so that's great. So some of the servos we're using, we got I bought two Nitro Pros servos from Chad Cup at N2RC, but he did use one of the new ones for his throttle in the buggy. So we used the other new one for his steering, and he has a ProTech 170 TBL for his throttle, which there's nothing wrong with it, but he already had a Nitro Pro for his steering in his buggy, so he wanted another Nitro Pro for his throttle in his buggy, so that's what he did. So we used one of the new ones in that, and the new one in this Truggy for steering, and just used the ProTech for his throttle. So, but no, he said it went together really well. Obviously it's very similar to the buggy version. It's just bigger, you know, so. But she looks really good. She feels good. She's smooth, so we can't wait to rip her. Again, it's probably gonna be about 2 weeks or so before we can run her, but that's fine. But looks great. That's the rear. I'm sure all you guys are familiar with the with Techno's Truggy. Again, base setup from the manual. We'll just start in there. I think it's I think the manual's 2020 and 2020-10 for diff oils, and it has a 2.1 sway bar in the front, and I think a 2.3 sway bar in the rear. So there she is. Just gotta wait a little bit to run her, but we will soon. On Saturday we went over to the Rock. You know, it's just a small group of guys and gals. Did a little bit of racing. They just did one qualifier and one main, because that was the day we were taking up the pipe, because they're gonna do a rebuild, total rebuild at Rock Racing. I could be wrong, but I think I remembered. So it's pretty much, the track's pretty much gonna be shut down until the 10th of June. So at the 10th of June, they will open it back up. So it's gonna be a brand new layout, and I think they're one of their main races is that weekend. So I gotta double check, or I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, so looking forward to the new layout. Again, we just raced Nitro Buggy. Well, he just raced Nitro Buggy on Saturday. We kind of just did it old school. We took the buggy, whatever you needed to run the buggy, his starter, his radio, and some fuel, and just went out there, you know. We didn't take the trailer or anything. But no, it went good. He TQ'd. He was in Sportsman Buggy. It was a small turnout, so all the Nitro Bugs were together. But no, he did great in qualifying. But when the race came around, you know, he had it started up. It was running just fine. I was marshalling, and then when his 20-minute main came up, I went up to the pits, and it would just stall. And I was like, huh, okay. So I started back up. He did a couple of laps, warm up, everything's fine. He'll come in, and as soon as he came in, it just stalled again. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do some tuning on it. Well, I tuned it just a little bit. I leaned, I think, the bottom out just a little bit, because I thought, like, well, just gotta get the revs up, maybe get the RPMs up a little bit more. So I upped the idle just a notch, and you know, just played around with it a little bit. He had a little bit of time before the race started, but it just kept stalling. I couldn't understand. So, well, it was time to race, and he was starting on the #1 position, and it would just stall. It just stalls, and I was started up, and it stalls again. So he would rev and rev, and I had to call for a minute because I got to figure this out, because I had to restart it on the starting grid. And I was like, man. And then at the first start, did our darn and quiet. I put her down and she started right then. They did a restart. I started her back up, but it just kept stopping. So okay, we gotta pull it. We gotta figure this out. So the race started. Of course, she stalled again. I grabbed her, went to the pits, and just trying to figure stuff out. I would start her back up, but it sounded like the glow plug was gone. Like it was like wah 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 wah. It was really like, my goodness, what was going on? You know, it's out of the blue, right? It's part of nitro. But at this time I still had the lid on, his lid on, so I couldn't see what's going on underneath. So like the first thing we did, and thanks to Johnny Buckner for the help, like, hey, let's just go and get a new glow plug. So we got a new glow plug, put it in, and it started right up. But as soon as I let go, it would stall again. I was like, my goodness, the tune wasn't off. I know the tune wasn't off because it was good to go all day until the mains, right? It's always the mains. So obviously the race is starting. He's down maybe, oh gosh, 4 laps already, but we're trying to get him going. You know, if nothing else, he gets some practice. Okay, we got to take this lid off. I take his shell off. I'm looking at everything, and we're looking at these lines right here, looking at the fuel lines or anything obvious. And sure enough, this line right here, which is your back pressure to your pipe, so it was clipped in right here. Let me show it to you here. So it was clipped in right here, and basically it cut off the back pressure. See how it was kinked? That was the reason. So all we did was we popped this out like so. So it's nice and, you know, nice and round here, rounded off. And the engine was fine. It was good. So just a little thing, a little mistake. We missed it. We just didn't check everything over. You know, it was just one of those races. We just kind of just get out there and race a little bit. But that's why you got to check over your vehicle. We missed it, and it cost us. But hey, it was still a great day of racing. Donald Hayes got his win, and he let Timothy know about it too. That was funny. But no, great job to all the podium finishers that day. Once we were done with racing, we pulled up all the pipe, and whenever I don't know who's building the track, but whenever they come, all they got to do is get in there and break it up and start to rebuild. Rock's gonna post updates and stuff, I'm sure, throughout the week, this upcoming week, on what they're doing. So, but no, that was it. Like every other video, I had to get me some goodies. Well, actually, we kind of need it, kind of, sort of, which was for the Truggy. I went online trying to see what the starters are going for, the starter boxes, and they're sold out everywhere. I was like, oh man, let me get with Chad Cup. And sure enough, he had one left. So I got him another starter box just for the Truggy. I understand I could use the old one and just keep moving this, you know, moving these tabs around for Buggy and Truggy. I just don't want to do all that. You know, when I'm there, I just want to worry about doing maintenance on the vehicle. I don't want to do maintenance on the starter box. I don't want to move stuff back and forth. So he had one starter box left, and I grabbed it. It's the Sure Start from ProTech. Works great. What I did notice is, we had this one for a year. We got this with his Nitro Buggy, and it didn't have like a little tray in here, like for your battery or for your LiPo. This one had one in it. Has the little straps in it. You see it? Got the little straps in there, so that's cool. So we got a starter box for him for his Truggy. We'll get that put together, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. Everybody's saying that Truggy is that class that you race Truggy and then you race Buggy, and you're like, I guess it's very forgiving. You can roll over everything. It goes through everything, but then you race Buggy again, and you kind of get some bad habits, I guess. But we'll see. I think this will be fun. He wanted a Truggy for a while now, but like I said, hey, you get some A's, I'm gonna get you that Truggy. And he held his end of the bargain, so me and his mama got him a Truggy. But again, it's gonna be about a week or so before we get our engine. We're getting it pre-broken in, and then I'll do the finishing touches on it when it gets here. But that's pretty much it. Again, remember, RC Farm has their Race on the Mountain coming up in about 2 weeks. And that'll be great. And yes, let me go ahead and answer that question. Hold on a second. I'm gonna race at the Race of the Mountain, on the mountain. I'm gonna race his e-buggy. He's just gonna race nitro buggy. So I'm gonna race his e-buggy in Sportsman. Trust me, I'm a Sportsman guy. I'll race his e-buggy. I'm gonna put his 3PV receiver in here, and I'll use that old transmitter for this one. And that way he has a receiver. Well, he already has his Samba receiver in there, so yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to racing again. Can't wait, actually. It's gonna be rough. I'm gonna need that practice that Friday, I know that, but I'll get the laps in and we'll make the best out of it. But again, remember, RC Farm has their Race on the Mountain, and then Rock will have their Solstice race. I believe it's the 15th or 16th. I can't remember. I'll put it up on the screen, but that'll be cool. But yeah, so all I'm gonna do now is go ahead and put his linkage together for his Truggy, and then put his clutch together, which he already started on it. He's putting his clutch together. So we're ready to go when the engine gets here. But hey, thanks again for all the subscribers and liking the videos and everything. I really appreciate it. So does Tim. He's been working hard lately, especially on that Truggy. We didn't see him for a whole day, so he's been doing his thing, but it looks like a lot of fun, and I think he's gonna have a lot of fun with it. Hey, also, happy Memorial Day to everybody. Just want to thank all those that gave everything to this country and ultimately their lives, so we can do what we could, have this freedom that we enjoy every day. All right, but until next time, I see you guys.